who is being beaten is being described as said to be a Dalit.
A Dalit who was raped and then burnt to death by two upper caste 17-year-olds.
In fact, her limbs were chopped off after she resisted rape.
You may have heard of the term untouchables, referring to the people at the bottom of the Hindu caste system. These people call themselves Dalits, meaning oppressed or the crushed. And if you were to search that word on Google News, you'd find they are subjected to unspeakable horrors on a daily basis. So here are your questions about Dalits based on Google's autocomplete. I'm Omar, and I'm here to give you the answers. This is the 101. Who are Dalits and why are they referred to as untouchables? First, to understand that, we need to get into the Hindu caste system. Most Hindus believe in reincarnation, and the caste, or social groupings to which someone is born into, isn't random. It's something they've earned and deserved based on their past lives. Traditionally, there are four main castes, ranging from the Brahmins, priests, to the Shudra, or labor class. A Dalit is actually born below the caste system. They're literally outcasts, and they're considered contaminated from birth. They are believed to be the worst of the worst and should be avoided and marginalized due to their own previous actions. What do Dalits do for a living? Well, there have always been exceptions, such as today the President of India is a Dalit. But generally, they have been given the worst jobs, things that no one else would do, things which many believe will contaminate the spirit. Killing rats, preparing dead bodies for burial, and anything having to do with dead cattle or their skins. These tasks are believed to corrupt the worker's soul to the extent that they shouldn't even be in the same room as someone from a higher caste. Where do Dalits live in India? Today in big cities, some Dalits are integrated and live side by side with other Indians, but a considerable majority live in slums. Traditionally, though, Dalits aren't allowed to even live within a village's boundaries. They can't enter Hindu temples and were even believed to be so unclean that they couldn't get water from the village well, because even their touch would taint it for everyone else. They didn't walk through the neighborhoods of the higher castes, and if someone from the priest or warrior caste came their way, they were expected to throw themselves face first on the floor so even their unclean shadow wouldn't touch others. They live all over India, and in many villages you'll find them living in the worst conditions imaginable. When can Dalits ascend? Since some Hindus believe that Dalits are being punished for actions committed during past lives, there's no way for them to move up in society. They have to marry other untouchables, live with other untouchables, and maybe, if they follow all the restrictions put on them regarding where they live and what they do, then they can be rewarded by being born into a higher caste next time around. Again, this is the traditional belief system, but it doesn't apply universally. Why Dalits protest? Simply put, their mistreatment is illegal. A few years after India gained its independence, the country passed the Protection of Civil Rights Act in 1955 in order to protect everyone, especially the weak and disadvantaged. Unfortunately, things didn't improve for the Dalits, and they fought hard for even more reforms. They won extra protections in 1989, but things were still really bad. Middle caste landowners found a new generation of Dalits who were unwilling to take the punishment and discrimination thrown at them. And the reply was harsh. Dalit houses were burnt down, people were raped and murdered, and lynchings were a normal occurrence. Even today, Dalits are being killed and mutilated on a regular basis, and it's not only in Hindu society, but in some cases also among Christian and Muslim Indians too. The secular constitution of India is supposed to make sure all its citizens are treated equally, and interestingly enough, the chairman of the Constitutional Drafting Committee was a Dalit himself. And so today, Dalits are simply protesting for their right to equality.